Hello everyone, back again with another ride. Today was a smash up NCAR, but I had a couple of other little climbs on the way to and from today. So I just thought I'd talk before and after. I went and recorded this 34 bike path climb twice today, and I recorded the NCAR effort as well. I'm feeling a lot better today than I was yesterday. Yesterday was terrible. I tried to go up St. Vrain and I didn't even make it halfway. I just felt like shit. So I turned around halfway, and then I did the same thing I did in the last video, just lines to hygiene in that crescent-shaped route. But right now, in the video, I wasn't trying to go for any serious effort. I just wanted to do like a hot tempo to warm myself up before going up NCAR. On the way here, it's probably like 17 miles into the ride. The start of this little climb. It's a nice climb because the pavement's, aside from the separation of the slabs, it's super smooth and it's pretty steady. No crazy undulations or anything, and it's only I think it's only like 250 or 300 feet elevation gain, and you finish on top of the hill, and it's just a nice little interval climb in the middle of the ride. So I just wanted to do this in fourth gear to warm myself up for NCAR. I had it was more of a crosswind, but it was acting like a headwind pretty much. Low speed, where it gets steeper up there, was about 13 miles an hour. And right now we're doing like 15 and a half. Fourth gear, you can tell by the cadence. I did do the gear limiting thing I usually do. Well, yeah. Yeah, I was super weak yesterday, but I decided to call it quits and shorten the ride, and then focus on recovery when I got home, because after the ride yesterday, at that point I was like, oh, I definitely need to try to recover so I can have a decent rest of the weekend, because I was feeling like shit. But it was okay in the end. I was feeling a lot better on the pedals today. A lot better form. It just felt better today. The downstroke. The wind was all over the place today in general. I mean, right now the wind is coming from the right. Slight headwind. It wasn't a perfect crosswind. So I was grinding up here, but on my way home, the wind totally did a 180, and I had a headwind on the way home, which is to the left. And yeah, I don't know. The wind's kind of crazy here. It'll be a completely different direction. 10 miles up the front range. Does a lot of twisting and turning on the climbs themselves and all across the front range. It's a pretty loud climb right here because you've got the highway right there, the 34, I guess. So it's not like it's super quiet or anything, but you get some pretty nice views both ways, and it's super smooth. So I always add it in when I'm going into Boulder, unless I'm feeling like shit. Then I'll, if I'm taking a PR attempt really seriously, I'll leave this one out, and because there's a couple of like sizable rollers on the way to NCAR via 257, whatever road it is, it doesn't matter. I head south and I turn right on South Boulder Road. But there's a couple of good climbs for warming up and stuff. So if I'm ever taking like a super serious attempt, then I'll just leave this out and just go straight to the climb. And just go easy on everything else. But even though I was feeling a lot better today, I could tell that there was no way I was going to get the PR. And I did not get the PR, but I was only 8 seconds behind it. And the PR is 10:45. NCAR from Broadway, that's the segment I'm going after in the video. I like to do it from the bottom just because, I don't know, it kind of feels weird to cut the climb in half, even though there's actually 2 lights on the way up on the bottom half that, the pro guys don't go after. One of them is just like a crosswalk light, so it's almost never lit up. You almost never have to stop for it. And the other one is pretty much the same. It's pretty much just for a school crosswalk. And, well, usually I'm riding on the weekends, so I never have to deal with that light anyways. So I like to do the whole thing. But there's good reasons not to take the whole thing seriously because of those lights and because it's a lot busier on the bottom half. But I'm not that fast, so I like to just do the whole thing. The bottom half is always a lot faster than the top half. The pros usually do just NCAR. That's the name of the segment, NCAR. It's I think it's only like 1.5 miles or less, and the average gradient's like, well, it's pretty steep most of the way. It's like 8-9% most of the way, and then the last like maybe 1,000 feet, probably less, like 800 feet, something like that, is more like 2 and 3%. You get like a big old break at the top, but it's still a climb. And if you're going for a PR, it doesn't matter what the gradient is, you gotta smash. Anyways, yeah, I like to do the whole thing. It's 2.5 miles, the whole thing. So that's what we'll be seeing here soon. But like I said, you get some nice views at the top of this little bike path here. Both ways, but obviously looking this way is better. If you're looking the other way, you pretty much don't see too much. I mean, you're up high, but you only really see the highway and some hills and some houses. But you get the great view of the snowy peaks back there. You'd probably have to up your resolution and pause the video and zoom in to really see it, just because the camera shrinks the horizon. But it's a great climb. Very smooth, nice views. So I, I warmed myself up on the way up, just to I was really kind of testing myself because I was on the fence about how good I was really feeling. It was definitely a lot better than yesterday, but I wanted to do this climb in 4th gear and get the grinding going on to really test myself. And because of the headwind, well, like I said, mostly crosswind, but it was at an angle. It was acting like a headwind. Because of that, I was kind of like, ooh, I don't know. It kind of ruined my confidence a little bit doing this one, because I was like, I don't know, that was pretty slow. And I felt the weakest on the very bottom of this little climb when it first starts. I felt better as it went on, until the top when I kind of burned myself up. But like I said, I didn't go all out. I just wanted to heat up the legs, get a little burn going. But by the end of it, I was kind of like, I don't know, man. I did not end up getting that PR, but I my 10-minute 45-second PR, I got that because I had a pretty strong tailwind on the steep part. Pretty much the whole climb, I had a really strong tailwind. So to be only 8 seconds off with the full winter kit and the camera on, and the wind going up today was a crosswind for the most part. I would say, I don't know. I would say, just to be fair, there was pretty much no wind. It definitely wasn't in my favor, that's for sure. But that's worse than a lot worse than what I had for the 10-minute 45-second, and I did 10 minutes and 53 seconds today. So I would say that's pretty darn good, and I should be proud of myself considering how shitty I felt and how shitty the last few weeks were because of work. I did a pretty good run today, and it is 17 seconds or so faster than the last time I filmed NCAR. So it's pretty good. I'm happy with it, and you'll get to see it here soon enough. But I'm gonna get out of the way and just play the noise so y'all can just enjoy yourselves without my distracting rambling. Alright, so there you go. That was really painful. um, I don't have a power meter on my bike, but I kind of wish I do sometimes because who knows, I probably did. I mean, if I had a tailwind on my 1045 and a crosswind, which turns into a headwind on the bottom part and on the top part where it smooths out, then only doing 8 seconds slower and with the whole winter kit on, and I had a phone in my back pocket, which I usually don't take with me. I don't care about whatever y'all say, but I usually don't take a phone with me. The full winter kit on, is quite a bit heavier than the summer kit with just a bib and a lightweight jersey. Not to mention it's less aero. So I'm willing to bet I probably did at least 15 watts average more, despite the 8 second, slower time. Scared those people at the top a little bit with my dying breaths. It's always fun though, getting to the top of the climb after a self-destructive effort, and just all these people witnessing me with my fucking dying self. I'm like, yeah, look at me, I'm dead. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So that was faster than the last video up NCAR, but it is my PR. But it felt pretty good. It was a little messy. I'm not gonna lie. Just after the middle where the actual just NCAR segment starts, where you have where the road kind of changes, and you get that like concrete sidewalk side thing starting. There's like a kicker right there. That's where the NCAR segment starts. It all felt pretty steady up until just after that. Kind of get like the first even stretch of like 8%. But after that first one, when I passed that one guy, then I started to really feel it, and feel like my wattage. If I had a power meter, you'd probably see a lot more undulations at that point. And then it leveled off. It felt a lot better. Of course it did, but it felt a lot better once the road kind of flattened out and I could kind of control myself again. But I was definitely struggling to keep it steady after passing that old guy. Eating some beans right now. Gotta get your protein, guys. But yeah, definitely a big mood shift too. That's probably one of the bigger reasons. I get such good sleep here. I dream a lot. I actually forget what I dreamt about last night and the night before, but I dream so much, and some stuff was going on in my dreams. Like I said, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was, I don't know, it was kind of hopeful. I know that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was definitely hopeful. I feel like it had something to do with writing, something to do with work, but it was good. It wasn't bad. And then I woke up and, I was ready to get going. Unlike Thursday morning and yesterday morning, I definitely felt like shit both of those days. But today was, back on track, and I felt it in the legs. If this had been a different day with a tailwind and with a summer kit and without the camera, shoot, I probably would have done 10-20. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Mood is a lot better. The stress is almost falling away all of a sudden. So, that's huge. I've been stressed recently about quitting this job I've got. I'm mostly just worried that I won't find what I'm looking for at one of the nearby grocery stores. I would love to just have 3 8-hour opening shifts a week, and it'd be nicer for them to be back to back. But it doesn't really matter when it's only 3 days out of 7 days. They can make it every other day, and it would probably be good for me. But I think back to back is better because then I can, if I want to set up the trainer, then I can do that and at least get 2 or 3 of those sessions in a row without having to take it off the trainer and stuff. I don't know. I don't think it really would matter, especially since I'd be getting 2 extra hours at the end of every day, since it's an 8-hour instead of a 10-hour shift like I have now. But yeah, the stress has just melted away all of a sudden. It's like I don't have anything to worry about. And I really don't think I do. It's pretty easy to get a grocery store job, especially when you just look pretty and act giddy. They don't care about anything but your face and your well, really, that's pretty much it. Your face and your character. That's pretty much all that matters with these cheap jobs. If you sound like you aren't gonna be like a dickhead, and you're gonna show up for every shift, then you're pretty much at the top of the list. That's assuming you get to an interview. But doesn't matter. I'm all of a sudden. See, here's the thing, guys. I have some weird thing that I've built in my head, I guess. Basically, I'm not happy unless I feel good on my bike. That's pretty much the way I live. And that's why I'm putting cycling nowadays above everything else, above my future, above a family, above money. Because, I don't know exactly how it happened, but I have a pretty good idea. But yeah, if I go out on my bike and I feel like shit, I get extra depressed. I actually get more depressed going on a ride and feeling like shit than I do if I don't ride for a week straight. I get a little anxious if I don't ride, but if I go ride and I feel like shit, I get really depressed. So that's how that works. So, a day like today, where all things considered, I performed pretty well, and I felt, really good on the bike. My form was pretty solid. Pedal stroke felt great. My mood, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what's going on in my life. I feel good now. Work totally fucked me over last week. And yeah, it was really shitty. And I was worried about this shit happening. Those were the first call-outs I've gotten since I started working here a year and a half ago. And, the longer I worked here and didn't get called out, I was like, oh my God. I was getting nervous because I was like, I'm getting used to never getting called out and just working this straight, 40 hours a week on the same days, same hours. I was worried. I was like, I'm getting too comfortable. I know when it finally fucking happens, it's going to destroy me. And it did, because I ended up deciding I'm fucking quitting. And I got super depressed, and I got super, slow on my bike for a few days. And it just all fucking started hammering down on me. But I knew it was going to happen, and I did my best. But yeah, I figure I would like to keep this job for another year. I mentioned that in the last video, I think. But, I would prefer to keep this job until next winter. So, I have one more card to play. I'm just going to be like, hey, I'm just going to be honest with them. I'm saying I'm pretty fucking burnt out because I'm an athlete, and I'm stretching myself thin. I'm doing as much as I possibly can handle physically and mentally every day, around this job. And I'm pretty fucking burnt out from the call-outs and from my coworker being a dickhead. So I'm going to stay here until the first week of March. I'll be back the first week of March. If that's not okay with you guys, then that's fine. Go ahead and separate me. It's not a big deal. I can go bag groceries at King Soopers for the same fucking pay. I probably won't say that part, but I always say, oh, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, but when I asked for the raise, probably about 10% of the words that I imagined myself saying to my boss actually came out. That happens all the time, I can be as confident as I want talking to myself in my room about what I'm going to say, but I don't actually say it. But I'm going to do my best to say that to them while I'm in California. I'm going to say, I need this many more weeks, and I'll come back the first week of March, If that's not okay, I understand. Go ahead and separate me. I'll find another job. But if you want to keep me, this is what I need. I'm going to stay here until this time. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm not stressed about it anymore because I feel better on my bike. If they don't let me do that, it's not that big of a deal. It'll probably be better for me. The sooner I get rid of this, because I'm going to get rid of this job at some point, whether it be next year. Next year was actually the plan. Next winter, I mean. So, if it happens sooner, that's not a problem because, I'm 23, 24 in April. I only have so many years of this youth. So if it happens earlier and I get to riding more sooner, then that's not a problem. I have ways I can make money in addition to, the 24 hours a week a grocery store will give me. So I'm not worried anymore. That's how my mind works. If I'm feeling good on the bike, I'm happy. If I feel like shit on the bike, I want to die. That's just the truth, guys. The bike is literally my health. It's my cope. It's my pills, my medication. Literally my medication. I need to take it every week, multiple times, and it needs to be a big dose. A big dose as in a good ride, and I need to feel good. But yeah, there you go. There's my third video going up NCAR. Who knows when the next one will be, but it was fun. It felt good. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one next week probably. Hopefully we don't get too much snow tomorrow morning. But anyways, have a good one. Bye-bye.